Twisted Metal, vehicular combat video games that take it a step up and add this layer of horror to its characters. At the time, with its first release on the PS1, we never saw anything like it. Sure, in Mario Kart you could use turtle shells to shoot your opponents and delay them for a bit, and that was fun, but Twisted Metal had creepy clowns and missiles you could use to completely destroy your opponents. This was one of those games that gave PlayStation a more mature aura around it. The game was turned into a comic book, and there's even a TV series currently in the works. Twisted Metal is an awesome franchise. I really can't think of anybody who played the series and dislikes it. That's why today I want to talk about the forgotten PSP game, Twisted Metal Head On. I'll be capturing footage for the game using my PSP 2000 and the PSP component cables, so that'll explain the cropped image. Twisted Metal Head On released in 2005 as the 7th game released in the series. Right off the bat, going on to single player mode, you can select the story mode, challenge mode, or endurance mode. Challenge mode will allow you to play any stage you've unlocked with only one life. It's a useful mode for practicing courses. Endurance mode is similar, but you only go up against one opponent at a time. Story mode is really where Twisted Metal shines. As with every game, the story centers around Calypso, the host of a vehicular combat tournament, where riders are called together and battle to the death by any means. And by any means, I mean missiles. Lots and lots of missiles. Sure, a tournament style story is a little cliche, but I mean it works. I chose to go with Shadow as he's got a little bit of everything for my first playthrough. First stage, Big Blue Stadium. Okay, nothing too crazy, it's a simple baseball field stage where you can roam the outskirts for power-ups. If you really venture off, you can find these portals that take you into minigame stages to compete for power-ups. For example, destroy all these taxis and gain an extra life bonus. The first stage is an open field more or less, with no real places for enemies to hide. Just blast your missiles and onto stage 2. Stage layout gets a lot more open in stage 2. Enemies drive away from you around buildings and loop back around to shoot you, with their most used attack hands down being this freeze attack that stops you in your tracks, not allowing you to use anything, shoot, nothing. If you're gonna want to succeed in this game, which I'm sure you do, you're gonna have to memorize where all the health power-ups are. Each health power-up gives you about 30% health back. Each rider is capable of a couple things to help kill. There's using power-ups like missiles and nuclear blasts, obviously. Also, they can turbo boost around the map, which depletes over time. You'll have to pick up refills and manage the turbo meter. There's primary machine gun fire, in addition to the missiles we talked about earlier, which the player can fire as well. Boosting and maneuvering around the map are the most important thing for staying out of the way of incoming attacks. At first glance, the gameplay seems simple, but to win in Twisted Metal requires constant awareness of the map and how to go about landing your next hit. It's even harder on PSP with the L and R buttons playing key roles for shooting and maneuvering. Sure, you can go the lazy route and let opponents damage each other, but where's the fun in that? Speaking of which, you'll lose out on skill upgrades when opponents fall at the hands of other players. Defeat opponents yourself to gain higher jumps, ram damage upgrades, and more. Do that and get to your first boss, Cousin Eddy, after stage 3. There's no stalling or hiding during boss stages. It's just you and the boss. Boss stages will have some kind of gimmicks to them, like taking out their defenses first or defeating minor enemies first before being able to cause damage to the boss himself. I like boss battles, they're usually a test of skill for what you've learned up to this point. Defeat Cousin Eddy and you'll unlock him and the ATVs. On to the next stage. Can we talk about the stage variety and how the PSP is a total beast for powering such open and even vertical levels? There's no recycling of assets from stage to stage. Each stage feels new with a unique theme, with a total of 11 stages taking place all over the world, like the Roman ruins looking like a level that should belong in Assassin's Creed or something. And then there's Russia, which introduces snow, which even affects how the vehicles handle. There's even a raceway type stage, which I can't help but feel is a dig towards Mario Kart. My least favorite stage is this shoebox sized stage that takes place on a Tokyo rooftop, but it's got my favorite bonus minigame, where you race against Tron type motorbikes, so it's not all bad. It's just too much of a tiny stage for me. At this point in the game, you're feeling great about yourself. Your skills are at an all-time high, you're hyper focused, and then comes this guy, Darktooth. This behemoth of a boss takes the difficulty to 100. He doesn't even let you get near him, which is what you've been used to this whole time. I can get to this point in the game in about 2 hours, but I spent another 2 hours trying to defeat him. I tried a common trick where you hide between buildings to kind of cheese him, but that didn't work. I tried driving backwards on straightaway roads to lead him towards me while I shoot at him, but that only works for his first phase. Yep, he's got multiple phases. His final form is Tower Tooth, where attacking his lower half won't do any damage. So finally, after gathering as many missiles to shoot his upper half and attacking him from afar, he died. That's game complete. Enjoy your ending cutscene for that specific character and check out what you've unlocked. I should mention this was the first Twisted Metal to release with a full online mode. Quite the achievement if you ask me, especially for the PSP. In conclusion, for a PSP game, they did a great job. You really don't feel like you're playing a watered down version of a Twisted Metal game like you would expect on a handheld. To be honest, most of the time I felt like I was playing a PS2 game. They really didn't cut any corners here. You get a large number of characters with cutscenes before and after their story modes. You get a large variety of tracks with different locales and even a full-fledged online mode. So that'll do it today for my look at Twisted Metal Head-On on the PSP. And yes, they did release a PS2 version, but some say that's a little more easier than the PSP version. I recommend the PSP version for the true Head-On experience. Until next time guys, see you on the next one.